Hello YouTubers and fellow Whovians, and welcome to my review of the official Doctor Who magazine celebrating 500 fantastic issues. First off, we're going to take a look at the packaging for this. It comes in a special sleeve packaging which I have decided that I'm going to keep for memorabilia's sake, because this is quite a huge edition of the magazine. On the front of this sleeve you've got like various characters from the 50+ years of Doctor Who, including all 13 Doctors, including the War Doctor, as well as some aliens, monsters and some beloved companions. Inside it just says like what we've got. So we've got 216-page magazines, one which is the normal magazine, and we've also got a special commemorative magazine which takes a look back at the first 500 issues, which I think is really good, and it's a real selling point of this item, and that's one of the main reasons why I bought this item. We've also got a giant double-sided poster which again pays homage to past covers of the magazine. We've got some stickers, collectible art card, we've got audio drama downloads for Doom Coalition 1 and the War Doctor box set volume 1, and it just says win, massive prize giveaway, and it just says at the bottom what else this includes. You've got a few items here, such as the complete Series 1 to 7 Blu-ray box set, as well as Series 8, Series 9 Blu-ray. We've got the 10th Doctor Volume 1 and a couple of other items there, which I think is fantastic. At the top there, where it fastens up, obviously I've opened it, we've got 500 issues. I think it's really good. Pays homage to the diamond logo, because that was what the logo was when the magazine first started back in the late 70s. And again, you've just got more info here about what you can find inside this amazing issue. Now let's take a look at the main magazine. Now, to be honest, I didn't know what to expect for the look of the cover for this 500th issue. I thought it might have been something, much more like this, the packaging, but the actual magazine pays homage to the very first issue, which featured Tom Baker and a Dalek, and here they've recreated that with the current Doctor, Peter Capaldi, with a modern Dalek. I think that was a very good idea by Doctor Who magazine. I think it works very well. They've also brought back the diamond logo, especially for this issue, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And everything on this cover, it's more or less like how it was back in 1979, but with a new twist. It says the Daleks are back, which is correct, because the Daleks will be returning. Free stickers. Originally it was free transfers. We've also got a full colour Doctor Who panorama inside. Wouldn't it be a shame if it was all black and white? And it just says here, fantastic 500th issue. And of course, the very first issue said fantastic first issue. And it just says at the bottom here, prize winning competitions inside. I really like this cover. I think it's absolutely amazing. Good job, Doctor Who magazine. Now let's take a look inside. So inside we've got part of this comic strip here. I'll just move this a bit like so. And we've got a letter from the Doctor himself, Peter Capaldi, just talking about 500 issues. And here's the contents, so what you might find inside the magazine. And here we've got a nice quote. My wife would catch me and say, "You've been reading Doctor Who magazine again." A letter from the editor too. We've got a nice interview in this with Stephen Moffat, which is a good read. Gallifrey Guardian, in this month's Gallifrey Guardian, it just basically talks about Heaven Sent getting a Hugo nomination, which I think it absolutely deserves. Heaven Sent, in my opinion, was probably the best episode out of the last series of Doctor Who. We've got Target Display, which is display of original artwork but from the covers of Target books. We've got more on the Titan Comics range. I've not collected any of those, so I don't know that much about it. We've got It's Bill, because since the last issue, Bill was announced as the next companion, or as known as some fans as Bill. We've got a letter from Pearl Mackie herself to Doctor Who magazine readers. We've got free audio downloads, as I mentioned earlier. We got this sticker sheet guide, because this magazine includes some free stickers. I'll show them probably towards the end of this video. Exclusive offer from the BBC store on some classic episodes, as well as the very first episode of the Revived era. Again, here's just an advertisement for the Doctor Who Titan Comics, which features the 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th Doctors, and I believe they're starting with the classic Doctors now, which I think is very appropriate. Here's just like all the latest news, everything that's gone on in the last month. Here's just an advertisement for the magazine itself to subscribe to it. And here are the last three, so 499, 498, 497. We've got Pick of the Penguin, which of course is Frobisher, a companion of the 6th Doctor in the expanding universe and some of the comics, as well as a couple of big finished audios and some just emails to the magazine from the fans. Again, it just continues here. We've got Collector's Corner. Then we've got this funny little comic strip, which is all nice. And here is like a behind the scenes featurette on how they made the front cover of the magazine. So this cover, I think that's a nice read. It just continues there. Here we've got an advertisement for the 10th Doctor Adventures Volume 1, which I will be getting, so stay tuned very soon for a review of that. I'm not planning on getting the limited special edition though. I'm planning on just getting the standard releases, so yeah, it might be a while before that actually comes out, but rest assured I will definitely review this because I really want it so badly. Here we have the Big 500. There will not be another better occasion for the final interview. Of course, it is the man himself, Tom Baker. He was, of course, the incumbent Doctor when this magazine first started, back in 1979. It was just in time for the 17th season of classic Doctor Who, and it was during the broadcast of City of Death when it first came out. And now Tom Baker's 82 years old. He has said that this is his final interview. This is the first part of the interview. I believe the interview continues in the next issue. But this is really sad because the fact that he's actually saying this is the final interview, it casts a lot of doubt in my mind that Tom Baker may not be with us for much longer, which is a real shame. I'm prepared for that day. It will be a sad day. I hope it's not this year though, because we've had quite a few bereavements this year. I've had a bereavement as well of my own, and you know, a lot of celebrities have died, and I don't want the 4th Doctor, Tom Baker, to die because he is one of my idols, and that would just break my heart. And I just hope that he sticks around for a lot longer. We've got a nice homage of him reading some of the Milestone magazines as well at the bottom here. So that's him there with issue 250. Again, he's reading another one, and there he's reading number 400. So it's a nice interview. I really like the interview. It might be my favourite interview, along with the Moffat feature, which features on later on. We've got the TARDIS log here. We've got some April Fool's things here, which is quite interesting. And basically what I mean is, it's like all this, the TARDIS log, it looks back at all the highlights from all the issues, from issue 1 to issue 500. I think it's really good. Again, it just continues for a few pages, so it just goes all the way through. Of course, Doctor Who magazine, it kept going even through the Wilderness years, which I think was a brave attempt, seeing as some viewed the show as being dead. But it's gone on, and it's now the world's longest running science fiction magazine, which is absolutely deserved in my opinion. Words Apart, now this is amazing. We've got a interview with William Hartnell, and basically over 50 years later they've asked the same questions to Peter Capaldi. It's really interesting to see all the similarities in both the actors' answers to these questions and all the differences, because obviously William Hartnell, when he was interviewed, nobody knew how big Doctor Who would eventually become, and no one would have known that Doctor Who would still be on over 50 years later. Now it's part of British culture, and I think it's a really fascinating read. I would definitely check this magazine out just for that feature alone. We've got some more advertisements for merchandise. We've got the Stockbridge Showdown, which is a comic strip. This goes for a few pages. I'll just skip this. So that's a nice comic strip. So it lasts for a few pages. We've got an advertisement here, special subscription offer, 3 issues for £5. That's a good bargain offer there. We Are Family. Doctor Who magazine has reached 500 issues since its first edition back in 1979, and it's a magazine that spans the generations. It's a nice feature there by Jacqueline Rayner. Then we have the Stephen Moffat interview. Now, of course, Moffat has been very big in the news recently since he has announced that his next series will be his final series as Doctor Who's showrunner and head writer. And I think it is time for him to go, but reading this, it's a really good interview. I quite like this interview. I'm not the biggest fan of Moffat himself. Some of his stories I really love, but some of them I really hate. So he's kind of hit and miss with me. I think I kind of prefer Russell T Davies slightly. But it's a good interview, and I hope that his next series shall be a good one. And hopefully he will go out with a bang before Chris Chibnall takes over. The interview also details how he got Chris Chibnall to take over from him, as well as the whole casting announcement of Paul Mackey as Bill. So that's very nice, because get a bit more detail about Paul Mackey, because we've not really heard anything since she was first announced back in April. We've just got an advertisement here for Colouring Adventure Through Time, and yeah, it says here that his last intended story was The Husbands of River Song. A few of you will probably know that anyway. It kind of felt like the bookend to an era there. But of course, the BBC asked Moffat to do another series, which he didn't expect. this interview will continue in the next issue, so let's see what he says in that next part. We have a Doctor Who magazine exclusive with Mark Gatiss, Gareth Roberts and Clayton Hickman, and they talk about their 2001 pitch to bring back Doctor Who. The endless attempts to bring back Doctor Who during that time, it was just wow. But obviously it didn't come back in 2001. This failed. It was only until Russell T Davies came along that things started going forward. We've got an advertisement here for Units Shutdown, which is a Big Finish audio play starring Gemma Redgrave and Ingrid Oliver, along with some others, including Alice Cridge, who I believe was the Borg Queen in Star Trek, if I'm correct. Got some more comic strip stuff here. It's all about the magazine, I'd expect. Let's do the time warp again. 37 years ago, the Fourth Doctor ran into the Roman legionaries running amok in the village in Stockbridge. And here we have all the highlights of all the comics that are featured in the magazine since the very first publication back in 1979. Which is brilliant because the comics are one of the highlights of the magazine. They've always been present since the very beginning. They were black and white, as you can see, but as time moved on, it all went into colour. And this was when the Eighth Doctor was the Doctor for all that time, even though he only had that one lousy TV movie. But hey, the Night of the Doctor's come out since then. Building a legacy. How Doctor Who comic characters have now appeared in that Doctor Who game, Doctor Who Legacy. I think it's great that they're adding more and more characters to that game. I've not played that game since it first came out, and I think it came out around the 50th anniversary, if I remember correctly. Oh, we've got a feature on the Day of the Doctor too, which is, of course, the 50th anniversary episode. It's a nice read. Some nice behind-the-scenes facts that I did not know. That just carries on for quite a while. Got an advertisement for the Legends of River Song, which you can get on your Kindle or just get a book. Got a review on the final part of The 10th Planet, which of course was William Hartnell's last ever regular appearance as the First Doctor. And we've got some reviews of other merchandise, including the novel In the Blood, which features the 10th Doctor and Donna Noble. The 10th Doctor and Donna Noble are featuring quite a lot in stuff lately, with Big Finish, and now they've got another novel coming out. It's quite amazing, really, because the 10th Doctor and Donna are one of the most popular Doctor Who companion combos. We've got a BBC audio of Cybermen The Invasion. Here we've got a vinyl LP of Genesis of the Daleks, and another one of Doctor Who and Daleks, which is based off that Peter Cushing film back from 1965. We've got Real Time Pictures DVD of The Mythmakers, Nigel Robinson. And here we've got an advertisement for the Target novels. So we have Doctor Who and the Zarbi, which is based on Doctor Who the Web Planet. We've got Doctor Who and the Web of Fear. We've got Doctor Who and the Dinosaur Invasion, which is Invasion of the Dinosaurs. We've got Genesis of the Daleks, The Visitation, Vengeance on Varos, and Battlefield. Here we've got some offers for prizes to win. Kind of useless to me, seeing as I have more or less everything on this page. And here we've just got a BBC audio bundle. Here's a chance to visit Big Finish and meet the Doctors. I don't think that includes David Tennant or John Hurt. I think it's just the classic Doctors. We've got coming soon, The Two Masters, which stars Sylvester McCoy, Jeffrey Beavers, and Alex McQueen. That looks really good. I've always wondered what it'd be like to have a multi-master story. Pity that Big Finish did it before the TV show. But hey, I'm not going to complain that much. We've got The Trouble with Drax, which is part of the Fourth Doctor Adventures. We've got In the Shops, it just says what's coming out in the shops around this time. The Second Doctor Volume 1, which is part of the Companion Chronicles. We've got Unit Shutdown, Lost and Found, Torchwood Moving Target, The Claws of Axos talking book, BBC Audio. We've got a BBC Audio of Scream of the Shalka. And we've got a list of all the repeats that we can see on TV. And this is on the TV channel W. And it's just all new series stuff. Got Victory of the Daleks there. And then you got all this stuff. It's all David Tennant stuff. You've got a couple of Matt Smith things in there as well. Cave of 500 Eyes is just a test by the Watcher. Crossword, it's just all your usual stuff here. And then Watcher, and here we have an advertisement for the next issue, which says that the celebrations continue. A very special, devoted issue to Tom Baker. So the interview with Tom Baker continues. And here we have the back cover. Here's to the next 500. I really hope that it reaches 1,000 issues. It would be a disaster if it came to an end. Here are the stickers. That is part of the poster. So we have a giant poster which is off the front cover. And we have on the other side a homage to some past issues of the magazine which have been recreated especially by Peter Capaldi, and that's quite good in my opinion. I might put it up on my wall, so you might see it in the future in some videos. We've even got an art card for the Iron Legion. The best thing about this issue though is the fact that we get another magazine, which is a pictorial history of the first 500 issues. Again, like the magazine itself, this is 116 pages long, and I really like this because not only does it give us a look at all the covers of the first 500 issues as well as alternative covers, but it also gives us an insight into why those covers were made and what the show was going through. It's hard to forget that for a majority of this magazine's lifespan, the show wasn't on the TV. Hence why it's kept on going. Hence why we're now at 500 issues. I think this is a really good special gift with this magazine, and I think this is the main reason why you should totally get this 500th issue of Doctor Who magazine, because this is an amazing read. We've even got an introduction by Russell T Davies, and Russell T Davies is an avid collector of the magazine. And that is my review of Doctor Who magazine issue 500. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like, comment, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. And this is actually the first time I've done a review of the Doctor Who magazine. So whether I'll do it again, whether this will become a regular feature on the channel, you can let us know in the comments. If you want me to do this again next month with issue 501, then speak your opinions now. Put it down in the comments below. And all I can say for now is I hope you're all having a great day, and I shall see you next time. And once again, Well done to Doctor Who magazine for reaching 500 amazing issues, and long may it continue.